This is going to be our very first mommy confessions. So, Mommy Confessions, it's going to be a new series that I do where I can come on and I can tell you all of my secret mommy confessions, different things that happened to me, different things that I've done as a mother. And I feel like if I put this out there, everyone else will either help me realize that I'm normal, or they'll judge me and I'll feel horrible about myself. So here we go. So today, it is Wednesday and it's the middle of the week and I am a teacher. So today is Wednesday and I'm a teacher, and the middle of the week is always rough with teaching in general. The kids, they're halfway through the week, and normally by Wednesday we have things that need to get done or things that need to be finished up before the end of the week. So this morning when I woke up, I knew I had a list of things I had to do. I had a meeting at 8 o'clock and right at school, so it meant we had to get out the door. And now that we're living in the new house that we just built, it's a little further to drive, which is fine, but we just have to get used to it. So this morning there was a really bad storm. Like, it woke me up at like 5 a.m. and it was crazy loud, like super crazy loud, like so loud that I told my husband that it sounded like we were literally inside the clouds, like the thunder was so loud. So I was up at 5 a.m. I got up, got dressed, did my makeup, got dressed, did everything I needed to do, and everything was going fine. And I got the kids got up. It was it's Dr. Seuss week with their schools, and they had to dress like crazy people today. So they dressed silly. Everything was fine. We got into the car, and I went to push the button to open up the garage door, and nothing happened. And I'm like, okay. At first I was like, all right, nothing happened, no big deal. And then I pushed it again. And nothing happened. So I'm like, oh crap, what is the problem? And I'm remembering at this point that there's been storms, really bad storms. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, is the power out? And I'm looking around, looking around the house or whatever, looking around the garage. I see lights on that are from ours. So clearly the power is not out. I feel like I would have noticed the power being out before getting into the garage. So I get out of the car and I'm like, well, maybe it's just my like car, because it's programmed. So like I was like, maybe for some reason it became unprogrammed. So I get out of the car, go around and hit the one that's on the wall, the garage door open on the wall, and it's not working. And I'm like, oh crap. And so anyway, so at this point I'm calling Dave because it's not working, and I'm already like irritated because I'm already like stressed and irritated because it's not working, and I already know we're late. We're already later than we need to be. And who else out there? Raise your hand, comment below if when you're stressed out, you call and yell at your husband, even though it's not his fault and it's not, they can't really do anything about it because they're not there. But I called Dave, and I didn't yell at him at this point, but I was like irritated. He knew I was irritated. I was like, the garage door won't open. Why won't it open? And he was telling me, okay, well, just hit the button on the wall, hit it for a few seconds. So I'm like, I'm hitting it for a few seconds and it's not working. So he's like, well, try the main one, the one in the car, try that again and hit it for a few seconds. And I'm like, it's not working, babe. It's not working. I need to figure out what I need to do. He's like, well, then you're going to need to take the truck. You're going to have to pull the lever, the emergency lever on the garage, and you'll have to take the truck. I'm like, all right, fine. I was like, all right, well, I gotta go. I was like, I gotta do that then. So I hung up with him, and then I go and I pull. You guys know there's like, at the top of the garage, there's like a little orange string or red string, and it has a little lever on it that you have to pull it. So I'm like sitting there, like pulling, like pulling it, and nothing's happening. And I'm like, what is wrong with this? So then I call him again, and I'm like, it's not working. It's not working at all. What's wrong? Why is it doing this? And then he was like, well, just, you really have to pull it real hard. He's like, pull on it like you're letting it like hang from it. So there I am pulling it, and what does it do? What do you think it does? It breaks. It snaps off. That orange thing snaps right off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? So there I am on the phone once again with my husband, more irritated this time because we're even more late. So we're even more late. So then he's like, well, then you're gonna have to go out through the front. Now, I will tell you this. We just moved into our house. We haven't been here a week. And if you've ever bought a house or built a house or moved into a brand new house, you know that there's no grass. And let me remind you, it's been raining for about 24 hours. And not just like the nice sprinkle spring rain. This is like torrential downpour, hurricane type rains, like everyone's gonna die rain. So we have torrential downpour rain for 24 hours. We also have brand new soil and dirt that's nice and fresh that's just been scattered around the entire area of our house. And we have to then trudge myself and 3 children through that mud to get to my husband's truck. So I'll let you think about that for a second. Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. So then I'm like, okay, well, so we get out to the front porch, and I'm like, well, how am I going to get the kids there? So I'm like, I pick up Brielle, and I've got my teacher bag, I've got my lunch bag, I've got my purse, I've got my coat on my body, and then I've got Brielle's coat because she can't wear that in her car seat, obviously. So I'm like, how am I gonna get us to here? And then I look over and I see just puddles and puddles and puddles of like mud and water, like standing this thick, that thick, yes, that deep. So I'm like, all right, well then, so then I thought, I don't have any cardboard up, you know, because I'm a freak and I cannot live in boxes. So all the boxes that were in our kitchen that were ready to be broken down have been broken down because I needed to have those gone. See? I can't, you know, so those were all gone. So then I'm like, what else can I get? What else can I put out there? So I think blankets. So I run back into the house, I grab 2 blankets, and I try to grab 2 blankets that, you know, I didn't care about or that, you know, I was okay with ruining. And there I am laying these blankets out in a line so that we can trudge over the blankets through the mud to get to the car. So now let me remind you, we live in a nice neighborhood, a very nice neighborhood, and it's, you know, and I can only imagine what these people were thinking about us and our torrential downpour lightning. And there's that black girl with that new black family that just moved in, and there they are putting blankets over the mud to try to get to their beater truck, because my husband has like just a, you know, just like an old truck to like, you know, that's 4-wheel drive and that kind of thing. So there they are trudging through the mud and the dirt and the muck and on their blankets trying to get to their truck. So you would think that would be enough, right? You would think that would be enough, that me trudging through the blankets in the mud in the rain at 7:15 in the morning screaming at my children to get in the car would be enough. But no, it's not. It gets better. So then we trudge through the snow, or trudge through the mud, and I have Brielle on my hip, and Braxton's got my purse, and Brooklyn's got my teacher bag, and we are trudging through. We get to the truck, and literally it is torrential downpouring, like torrential downpouring, and there's lightning flashing. 7:15 in the morning in February, March timeframe, it's dark. The sun is starting to come up, but it's not up yet, so it's still dark. And I get to the car and I'm like, oh, where's my keys? So I literally have to drop all the stuff I have, to rummage through the bags, and then I realized to myself, crap, Dave's truck keys are not on my key ring. So then I had to realize that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to leave the kids. I'm either going to have to leave the kids next to the car under a canopy of nice and tall trees, next to a metal truck, or I'm going to have them trudge back through the mud to get to the porch so that they be safe from the lightning, and to go get the truck keys. So I know I'm such a bad mother, and please don't judge me. Please don't judge me. But I said, stand together, don't move. I guess in my brain I thought that if they stood together, it would be fine. But anyway, regardless, so I said, stand right here. And then I ran so fast back into the house, grabbed the truck keys, and came back. And from the porch, I clicked it, and I was like, get in the car, get in the car, get in the car. So there I am again, screaming like a crazy person, running down, hopped off the porch, got back on the blankets, on my Bridge O blanket, to get back to the truck. So then finally, when I got in the truck, everyone was in, and everyone was completely soaked, because it's torrential downpouring and nobody has an umbrella, and we're all just sitting there. So then finally we got in the car, we're going, and I'm like, I'm hot. I am like upset about all this drama that has been going on. It's still pouring rain. Dave's truck has horrible lights. His windshield wipers suck. So then what do you do? What do you do, ladies? When you're angry and you need to take it out on someone, what do you do? That's right. You call your husband. So I called Dave, and he was such a sweetheart. He, didn't try to fix the situation, and I just sat there and laid into him, and he was just sitting there taking it, and just, was like, I'm sorry, oh, that sucks. He wasn't trying to fix it. He wasn't trying to make it better. He was just trying to let me vent, because I think he knew that's what I needed at the time. But then, then he stops talking for a minute or two, and I'm just rambling on about, I can't believe, and blah, 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 and this always happens to me, and blah, 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 blah. You know how it is. And then I'm like, why aren't you saying anything? And I looked down at my phone, and the call had dropped. So Lord only knows how long I was not screaming, but I was yelling into the phone, talking to nobody. Probably better for everyone that I was, not talking to anybody with at that time. But it's fine. It's just what it is. But I just wanted to get on here, and I wanted to start this series of mommy confessions. I feel like people need it. They need to know that when they scream at their kids, it doesn't mean that they don't love them. And when they yell at their husbands, it doesn't mean that they don't love them. It means that you're stressed out to the max and you're about to explode. And that's okay, because I do it, and I know you do it, and I know that there's hundreds of thousands of other people out there that do it too. So leave a comment below about your mommy confession, that something that's happened this week or last week or the week before, that has happened, and make me feel better. Make me feel like I'm not alone. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. We would love to have you. If you liked this, if you'd like to have more mommy confessions, more episodes, I would, give us a thumbs up so that I know that you would love that. And thanks for watching.